Today's date is Friday, February 5th.
I'm Lexi.
And I'm Jessica.
And today we have a fun broadcast to share with you. Let's start off with the weather.
Here's Elizabeth now.
It's weather time! Hello everyone! Today's weather is mostly windy and cloudy with a high of 17 and a low of 5 degrees. This weekend will be snowing with a high of 13 and a low of -5 degrees. There was a small snowstorm several days ago and we got a lot of snow. Did you make a snowman or get to play out in the snow? There was so much snow the last few days. Here's a forecast on upcoming snowstorms.
More snow is in the forecast, and we have two snowmakers that we're tracking, one for the end of this week and one going into the end of the weekend. So here's the first snowmaker, and you can see we already have winter weather advisories, a blizzard warning in effect for parts of Iowa, and this gets going by Thursday. So we're talking not only blowing and drifting snow here, but we're going to have a big wind component and a pretty decent shot at some heavy accumulation here for the Midwest. Friday, this storm is going to move east of the Great Lakes, push up through the Northeast, where it's not expected to bring a whole lot of snow. The heaviest snow with this first system will be back through the Midwest. And you can see that Marquette 5 to 8, Chicago, you could get as much as 5 inches of snow between Thursday and Friday. And then the amounts of snow as it goes to the east, very meager. Now, system number 2, this could be a bigger deal for the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. And this is going to set up similar to what we just had. So the timing of this will be Saturday. The storm arrives in the northern plains. It will push east of the Great Lakes by Sunday. And that's for the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast. It really just depends how strong this low pressure system gets off the coast. That will determine how big this snowstorm comes and how much snow we get.
Whether you were able to get outside or not, we hope you enjoyed the snow and stayed warm. Meanwhile, in Perth, Australia, there are bushfires. Some footage on that.
Watch out! There you go! Follow that white line, mate, and see what we can push through. Watch out. Yeah, follow that line. There you go. Hey. Remember, you've got the D.O. Darling Range right in front of us, mate.
In this ever-growing situation of coronavirus, it seems it's more than people who are getting the vaccine. Ferrets are too. And here are some tips to make the long winter a little bit more bearable. As so much snow, sluts, close up with this fuzzy clip of Gecko the cat catching a snowball. Wait, don't go yet. We can't forget about our fuzzy panda friends in DC. Okay. Okay, that's it. Thank you, everyone. See you next time.
Thank you, Elizabeth. We'll make sure to stay warm.
Hey, Jessica, did you know that the original voice of Siri with an American accent was Susan Bennett?
What?
She recorded her voice in 2005 without knowing that it would eventually be used for Siri.
That's so cool.
Speaking of cool, check out this interview with Mr. Wolf.
Hi, thank you for being with me today. So I just have a few questions for you. First
Sounds
question,
good.
what's it like being the producer of SMS News at Home?
I've had a lot of fun with it this year. SMS News at Home has worked out really, really well. We've completely changed its format to address our differences this year. And what was really cool was WeVideo came out with a online collaboration, real-time collaboration, so that students can all contribute and collaborate together online in WeVideo, even though we're not in person. So that allows them to do all the editing and put up all their videos and stories together. So it's been really cool to see the collaboration and the communication that's happened with our SMS staff this year, even though we're not in person.
Great. What's your favorite part about teaching CMA at Shepherd?
What I love about teaching CMA at Shepherd is the opportunity to let students be creative about what they're passionate about, letting them choose the projects that they want to work on, and then really just focusing on developing skills that they're going to need in the workplace, like creativity, collaboration, problem solving, critical thinking. I really enjoy working in a class where those are the concerns rather than the topics that we're covering, and then allow the students to really choose topics that they're interested in and have fun doing.
Yeah. How has the virtual setting changed CMA?
That's an interesting question, Austin, because it's changed it a little bit, but the main structure of the class really stayed the same. We're still able to work on problem solving, and this is just brought a few more problems that needed solving. It also, it's a class that's designed for the future. So this sort of brought us to that future a little quicker than what we thought, with using things like Zoom to communicate, using breakout groups to use for collaboration. But our class is designed in a way that this really was something we were preparing for well beyond before we knew it, when we were working on problem solving and communication and collaboration. So while it's changed that we're not in the same room and we can't quickly see what everybody's doing and help each other a little bit easier, we've just found different ways to do that. And I think it's still going really well.
Great. And last question, why did you decide to become a CMA teacher instead of other kinds?
Well, I was a math teacher for a 5th and 6th grade math teacher for about 8, 9, 10 years, something about that. And that was when technology was really starting to come into school buildings, and there was a big push to try to get technology in the schools caught up with the technology that was going on outside of schools. schools were sort of lagging behind in the use of technology, where it was almost seen as like when kids would come into school, they would have to put away all the technology that they were using out of the school, which didn't really make sense. So I became passionate about trying to catch schools up to not only the current stage of technology, but preparing them for the future stages of technology. So I really started to try to get that into my classroom, into how I taught math and using all sorts of new technologies. And then that just sort of became what I was really interested in. So I ended up getting my master's in educational technology, and then wanted to focus more on using technology with students, and CMA and classes like CMA were sort of being created, and I stepped right into that, and I've loved it since.
Great. Well, thank you for being with me today.
Yeah, thank you, Austin.
Wow. It was so cool to hear from our very own SMS News at Home producer.
Yeah, it's always fun to learn about teachers in interviews.
That's it for today's broadcast of SMS News.
Short and sweet.
Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
See you next time.
Wow. It was so cool to hear from our very own SMS News at Home producer.
Yeah, it's always fun to learn about our teachers in interviews.
That's it for today's broadcast of SMS News.
Short and sweet.
Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
See you next time. I'm an alien.